Hi, Teresa Momber here. Today I'm going to show you how to make this pretty bluebird card. Start by stamping the bird from the Birds and Blossoms stamp set from Gina K Designs using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Begin coloring the chest area with Copic marker YR14. Switch to E02 to fill in the remainder of the chest area. Begin coloring the main part of the bluebird's body using Copic marker B26. Switch to B24 and blend out from the previous color. Fill in the remaining areas using Copic marker B21. After all the blending, some of the darker areas have gotten washed out a bit, so I'm switching back to Copic marker B26 and going back over those areas. Use N3 to color in the beak and legs. For the flowers, start with Copic marker BV13 and color in at the base of the petals and at the tips. For the centers of the flowers where you want them to be highlighted, fill in with Copic marker BV00. And then use YG95 for the stems. For the wood post, I missed filming the first bit of video, but you can see I had colored along the shade lines using Copic marker E29 before switching to E25 and filling in along the right side and then sparsely along the left side. Switch to Copic marker E33 and fill in most of the remaining area, leaving a few sections uncolored. And fill in the remaining area using Copic marker E31. After coloring, use scissors to trim all the way around the image. I did leave two tiny areas uncut that were very hard to get to. I'll go back later and fill those two areas in with Copic marker. For the next step, cut and emboss Spellbinders Sprigs Dye D-Lite from Sandy Beach cardstock and an A2 Matting Basics A from white cardstock. Then cut and emboss a second piece from the Sprigs die template. Working with the A2 Matting Basics A die cut still in the die template, begin by sponging Gina K Design's Sweet Corn ink along the bottom and up the sides. Switch to Gina K Design's Innocent Pink ink and sponge over the yellow, extending the pink up the sides even further. Now switch to Gina K Wild Lilac ink and sponge from the top down until you meet the pink. Tap off as much excess ink as you can for a very lightly colored background. And here I'm color matching for those two small areas that I hadn't cut out. For the lower section, E02 was a pretty good match, so I'll color that section in. For the other small area, V91 was a good match, so I'll color that section in too. Use adhesive foam squares to secure the bird to the sponged background. Now for the flowers that are very tiny and would be hard to fit a dimensional foam square, use a few small dabs of craft glue and press those down. Prepare a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch white card base, and then use more craft glue to secure the two sprig branches to the card base. Use more adhesive foam squares to secure the bird and die cut to the card. As a final step, use your Scor-Buddy to add decorative score lines to the two corners opposite of the sprigs. I like the look of raised score lines on my card bases, so I'm working from the inside of my card front. Since I'm doing corner scoring and trying to meet score lines from one direction to the other, I flip the card over several times to check my progress. And that completes our card project. Thanks for watching.